People get disenfranchised with politics, and I understand why. And I'm not saying that voting is going to solve all or even the majority of your problems, but it's so important to get out there and vote this Tuesday in the elections, because what we see is the establishment and the face of it, the Democratic Party, is getting more and more authoritarian by the minute. And it's important to stop them before they're able to fulfill their agenda, which will be devastating, not just for your freedom of speech, but will be devastating for a litany of issues in the country right now. So I wanted to talk about the issues that I think are the most important. In every single election, you should be focused on this, because the Democratic Party and how it's ran from the top in the Biden administration has been despicably bad, and almost every Democrat running for office is part of that agenda. The number one reason that you should get out there and vote is the economy. It's not just that they're devastating by shutting down energy, by causing inflation, by encouraging lockdowns, all of these things that have devastated the economy, but they're telling you with a straight face, this is such a strong economy. Even if you're a Democrat and you're thinking, hey, I like Democrats, I think that they'll look out for me and my family, there's no hope coming for you. There's no help coming for you, because they're telling you everything's going great. So if you want to stop these disastrous energy policies, if you want to stop the disastrous money printing, it's important to get out there and vote against this. The number two issue is crime. Crime is spiking all around this country. We see crime from illegal immigration that's coming, which we'll talk to in a minute, leading to fentanyl overdoses, crime in these Democratic-ran cities. There is an agenda from Democrats to push for things like bail reform, to push for supporting criminals. They criminalize you, the lawful American. They're going after nonviolent protesters. They're going after Christians. They're going after legal gun owners, and they're allowing violent criminals on the street. And the predictable results of their defund the police rhetoric has been massive amounts of crimes, even and especially in the same inner cities that they claim to care about. And so if you're concerned about your family's safety, you should get out there and vote Republican. And make no mistake about it, in every single election where you're voting for Democrat, it will contribute to this. Even if your community like mine's in a rural area that's safe, it's going to contribute to this violence escalating more and more that we see in the future. The third issue is the border. Our border is completely porous at this point, as many of us predicted would be the case. When you basically had every Democrat that was on the stage saying they don't think it should be a crime to come here illegally, and we can see that virtue signal has sponsored illegals after illegals coming into this country. It's led to not just contributing to crime, not just contributing to fentanyl overdoses and things like that, but they're actually doing more to help illegal immigrants than the own homeless population in this country, than our veterans in this country. They locked you down for COVID while intentionally allowing illegals that had COVID into the country. It shows you that they don't care about any of these issues. They claimed that they cared about kids in cages, but under the Biden administration, we've had 4 times more kids in cages. And where are the Democrats? They're silent on it. I don't hate the illegals. I don't think that anyone that's trying to be better for themselves should be someone that I individually condemn. But a nation needs borders to exist. It needs law and order. And so it's not just devastating for our country to have these open borders, and it's not just changing the makeup, but it's putting incredible stress on our country. And if you don't believe me, look at Martha's Vineyard, who couldn't even handle 50 illegal immigrants for 48 hours. They couldn't handle it. They lie to you over and over and say, oh, no, it's great. It's great for the economy. It's great for culture. But these wealthy liberals don't want illegals in their community. They want poor communities that tend to lean conservative to have to suffer the burden of this. And they think it's great. When you listen to them talk, they go, oh, well, we need people to mow our yards. We need people to clean our homes. It's disgusting. And Hispanics that traditionally have been someone that have voted Democrats are leaning more and more Republican. And one of the big issues is, despite what the Democrats tell you, wanting secure borders is not a race issue. And lastly, even if you care about those illegal immigrants, understand that this system that we currently has is failing them as well. By encouraging them to make this trek, they're being trafficked through human traffickers. They have coyotes that are running them, not the animals like half the Democrats think, but actual bad cartel members. And we have all sorts of bad people coming in, such as criminals. We have people that are coming in that are supplying fentanyl and things like that. We cannot have a country if we don't have secure borders, and every vote for a Democrat is a vote for open borders. Lockdowns is another big issue. Democrats continue to support authoritarian, drastic, draconian lockdown measures. These measures have been destructive all throughout our country. As I predicted, even in March of 2020, doing lockdowns like this would devastate the economy, and we would see ramifications of it for years to come. Even if there were Republicans that supported that, the Democrats were the bigger lockdown party. And not only that, they supported lockdowns and massive money printing, which led to the predictable results of poor and working class people suffering sheltering and one of the largest transfers of wealth from poor and working class to the upper class that we've ever seen. And so if you're against these lockdown policies, if you're against the anti-science policy of locking down children because Democrat teachers unions said it was important, if you're against the double standard of Democrats that told you that you couldn't go to your funeral for your parents, your children couldn't go to school, you weren't able to attend a wedding for your daughter. Meanwhile, these left-wing liberal elites went ahead and violated their own orders over and over. If you need an image to know why you need to vote for Republican, look at that picture of Democrat Stacey Abrams. She sits there smiling with a mask on while they forced all those children to wear masks. The destruction that they did to our children, the destruction they did to you that just wanted to work, they did with a smile on their face. And make no mistake about it, even though they're trying to tamp down their rhetoric to win this election, they will do it again and again and again and again. They hold you with contempt. They view themselves as better than you, that they don't have to follow their own orders. And every time they want more political power, they will exercise their ability to lock you down and to treat you like the enemy. Now people are asking for amnesty. They treated you like the enemy just because you disagreed with them on what we should do with these COVID positions. So in order to stop this from happening again, you need to vote these people out of office. And the last thing is the war on children. These Democrats are coming for your children. They attacked your children with lockdowns and anti-scientific ways in the name of getting more benefits for and more power for Democratic teachers unions, through other organizations. They're attacking your children through indoctrinations, through things like social emotional learning, critical race theory. They're telling your children based on how they were born, they were wrong. They're introducing sexualization to children, and they tell you that you're a bigot and need to be censored if you disagree with it. One of the only silver linings of lockdowns was you, the parent, being able to see how terrible these schools are being ran. There are great teachers out there. There are good people doing good things, but let's not kid ourselves. Academia has been infiltrated with people that want to indoctrinate your kids to left-wing positions, and they want to break your kids down based on their sexuality, based on their race, and things like that. We should not stand for it. And even if you don't think it's important to look at those things like critical race theory, sort of the sexualization of children and things of that nature, remember, they locked down your children with no scientific evidence to do it whatsoever. A nation should be judged by how it protects the most vulnerable, and the most vulnerable are children. And the Democratic Party has declared war on children. They said, we will punish children in the name of us getting political power. If you want this to end, even if you're traditionally a Democrat, even if you're a pro-union person, even if you're someone that hated Trump, understand this. A vote for Democrats will be a vote for punishing your children in the future in the name of Democrats and authoritarians achieving more political power. So for all those reasons and many more, including the corruption we see, the locking up of nonviolent protesters, the censorship and attack on your free speech, for all of those reasons and more, it's important to get out there and vote on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, to make sure that you vote out these authoritarians and vote in Republicans. Once the Republicans get in office, absolutely we hold their feet to the fire. But it's important more than ever to send this message that this authoritarianism won't stand, that we're going to start clawing back our country. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a good one.